Ivan has spent the last several years in various levels of product management and marketing, helping to define and build impactful SaaS product lines at NTT and Seagate. Through his passion for success, Ivan has worked with and trained some of the strongest producing software sales teams in the industry. Previous to joining the software industry, Ivan spent 15 years in the military where he used his Arabic language skills to develop humanitarian projects throughout the Middle East.
Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me to learn hot tips on how to make millions on the phone. And while that title may seem extravagant, it really isn't. Of all the tools available, the phone is still the #1 tool that allows organizations to reach their quota. While the phone is the single most important tool for most organizations, there are still many problems that reps run into when trying to get a deal all the way through the funnel. Here are a few of the key issues that I see at most organizations that I work with. The first one I call the haystack. That's when marketing provides a huge number of marketing qualified leads to contact. As we all know, the conversion rate of those leads is typically in the single digits. So how do you make sure you spend the time on the best scored and sourced leads? Next, you ask your reps to be fortune tellers. When is the best time to contact the lead? I may be interested in your service, but if you call me at the wrong time of day, you either will not get me at all, or at the best, you will get 10 seconds of my time. When do you try to contact me? Are you calling me from a caller ID block number, a toll-free number, or something out of state? All these are the things that significantly reduce the likelihood that I'm going to answer the phone, because I don't know that number. Then it's scribe time, fun time for all. After a conversation, do your reps manually spend a bunch of time updating the records, or is that done automatically? This data is critical. It is the data that will allow them to follow up with the prospect, as well as help sales management analyze performance and pipeline. Lastly, we have the masseuse. Thinking long term, do your reps have fast and easy methods to give me additional touch points? Things like leave me a voicemail if I didn't answer, or send me a text or an email. Or are they constantly massaging different information, different techniques, trying to figure out what to do, a one-off for every single customer that they talk to? This easily takes 10 to 15 minutes per person that you talk to. Let's take a look at each of these pain points in more detail. First, who do I call? Most reps get a long list of faceless names and numbers. The rep typically does not have enough time in the day, so they truly need to prioritize. The rep is left to research, analyze, and figure out who's the best to call and work with. Statistically speaking, you're likely to have good quality leads, but the problem is they're mixed in with the vast majority of poor quality leads. They're like looking for a needle in a haystack. This is the same bucket of leads we were talking on the previous slide, but only this time I've broken them out. So if you were able to take that bucket and see which was the best and the worst, I've actually shown them here. The problem is, because you can't tell that, you spread your time evenly across all of your leads, which actually means you spend the bulk of your time on the worst leads because that's what you have mainly. The intelligence of Power Dialer helps reps focus on calling the right prospects at the right time, which analysts say have a 10 times higher close rate if you can focus on those best quality leads. So back to the other visualization. This is what you have. A bunch of faceless names, most of them bad leads represented in the white, with some very good leads that are mixed in represented in the blue. Problem is you're only going to get to the ones above the line. And this is what you want, a list that brings the best leads to the top and dynamically resorts every hour based on record attributes like title or lead source or geographic location, as well as other factors like weather. The lead lives in a place where it's enjoying a local holiday. Each hour the lead resorts in order to provide the most likely leads to contact at the top of the list. Those same leads are no longer likely to contact. It's after 5 p.m. in a location, for example. They'll be resorted to the bottom and until the conditions are good for you to contact them. You no longer have a haystack, and the needle is there for the taking. We've talked about pain points and problems for a bit. Let's jump into possible solutions. An award-winning tool that can help meet those needs is PowerDialer, available for both Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics CRM. In this case, we're looking at the Salesforce user integration. Just because a tool can place phone calls or send emails doesn't mean it accelerates sales. PowerDialer offers key ways to accelerate your team's performance. Let's take a look at a few of those ways. One of the oldest and most time-consuming problems in sales is simply getting the person on the other side of the phone to answer. Local presence helps with that. It assigns each rep a local phone number for the area that they're trying to call. Think about it. How many times do you answer a call if it has caller ID unknown, a 1-800 number, or it's blocked? A study was conducted to understand the effect the displayed phone number has on the likelihood that the prospect will answer. A/B testing was carried out where prospects were called using phone numbers from the prospect's local area code, as well as long-distance phone numbers and traditional 1-800 numbers. It was a 25 to 38% increase just by using a local presence number. I know personally I tend to answer the vast majority of calls I get from the area code, thinking maybe it's one of my kids or something else. But even when it is a sales call, I tend to give them more of my time as I feel like it's a neighbor, not a faceless person across the country. Lead scoring and sorting help you find the right contact. You use local presence and you're able to get in touch with them. Now you need to document things and follow up. That's the fun part. We found on average reps spend 45 minutes a day just leaving voicemail messages or follow-up emails. That's over 10% of the day. With this feature, your reps can create a library of pre-recorded voicemail messages, email templates with attachments, and leave those with a click of a button. Reps can also automatically send texts, plan future follow-up calls. All within under 30 seconds, a rep can create multiple targeted touch points that help continue to nurture the lead. These not only save time, but they also build momentum in the sales rep, allowing them to focus on selling, not administrative tasks. PowerDialer comes with 37 standards reports built right out of the box. This report shows how effective lead sources have been based upon the rep's ability to get in contact. One client used this principle and tested which lead sources were best. In addition, they incorporated the PowerDialer to ensure maximum effort and saw a 13 increase in the number of qualified leads per rep. Here's a sales manager's view. This is typically used to help determine best practices that can be used throughout the team. Dynamically created seek lists allow you to strategically prioritize how rep calls throughout the day. For example, if you wanted to call the VP of Marketing only in his local time between 10 and 11, who's on the East Coast, was at your last trade show, you've called him less than 6 times, and it's been at least 3 days, you can do that. You can create a strategy that allows your reps to do that, which increases the overall output and effectiveness of your team. While your people are calling out, are they missing some of the hot leads that are actually coming in? If you contact someone within the first 5 minutes of them hitting your website, you're exponentially more likely to actually get in touch with that person and talk to them while they're thinking about your product and service and ultimately close the deal. Ultimately, these are all just tools. The tools help you get results. Let's take a look. TurboTouch started using PowerDialer about 18 months ago and immediately saw a dramatic increase in rep productivity, ultimately resulting in increased sales. Thank you for joining me for this brief overview. Please visit InsideSales.com for more information, and don't forget to schedule a demo. Have a good day.